Now, I would like to bounce back to our CEO, Mr. Omar Mohammed, who has a bit more information of some of the projects we are doing at the Cropper Foundation around this topic. So we would have started, learning a bit about the Cropper Foundation's National Recycling Project. And we would have heard Mr. Ronald Roach talking about some of the work being done regionally. So we are just taking it back now to learn a little bit more of what is going on here locally before we proceed with today's webinar. So, Omar, the floor is yours. Omar, you're on mute.
Thanks so much, Tyrell. So folks, while we just make sure our next presenter is all queued up, I just wanted to share with you all some of our early data coming out of a knowledge, attitudes, and practices survey that we've done under this IDB Lab funded circular economy project. So we were able to survey 1,407 persons in Trinidad and Tobago that were separated statistically by population density in regional corporation. And we are going to be publishing a report on this with data. So, lucky day, we have some early data that we can share. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of these data sets. So this first one, we asked respondents if they're familiar with the term recycling. Clearly we see that some of the more urban areas, persons are generally more familiar with the idea of recycling. The highest proportion of persons not familiar or not sure are in places like Mayara, Rio Claro, as well as Cuba, Tabaquite, Talparo. The second bit, we've asked participants if they knew where their nearest collection or drop-off point was for recycling and not specific to any particular recycling service. So in this case, persons in San Fernando, San Juan, Laventille, and Diego Martin were the most familiar in terms of knowing where their drop-off points were. And persons from Tobago, Mayara, Rio Claro, and surprisingly Port of Spain were unsure or didn't know where their nearest collection or drop-off points were. Moving on to if they do recycle, we see as well the highest proportion of persons who say they recycle are from San Fernando, followed by Point Fortin, and then Siparia, with the lowest percentages coming from Mayara, Rio Claro, Tobago East, and Tunapuna, Piarco. And again, just reminding folks that this will be published in a KAP report with some more sort of explanations of the narratives. Then moving on to if folks are satisfied with the recycling services that they have in their particular regions. Again, persons in San Fernando and Tobago East were the most satisfied, followed by Point Fortin and Arima. And the people who are least satisfied and possibly tied to knowledge about recycling and recycling drop-off points are Mayara, Rio Claro, followed by Port of Spain, and then Siparia. Willingness to participate in a recycling program. Again, the regional corporations, respondents were most willing. Was first Diego Martin, followed by San Fernando, and then Port of Spain. According to the respondents in our survey, the least willing would be Mayara, Rio Claro, Tobago East, followed by Cuba, Tabaquite, Talparo. And then we asked about their willingness to participate in their, if a recycling program, if their company or their employer were to take part in one. Point 14, interestingly said that all of the respondents were interested in participating in a recycling program if their employer would start one, followed by San Fernando and Diego Martin, with Port of Spain coming in fourth. And the least willing to participate in an employer or company recycling program would be Mayo Rio Claro, Tobago East, and Cuba, Tabaquí, Talparo. So we have quite a bit of other data that we will be sharing. This was just some initial explorations in the early data sets. And just to give you all an idea of the spread of, I don't have the demographic data here. But just to reiterate, this was a full national survey that was done based on population density of regional corporations. And we will be providing this data in a final report that's going to be publicly available. We are going to try as best as possible to also make the data itself downloadable so that people can then access the raw data so then they can then make their own analyses and so forth. Tyrell, back to you.